Hi Aries, here's a general look at your solar chart for November 2011, and this is a bit of a gear changing month for you. Every year the sun comes around to the same part of your solar chart, that's Scorpio, and that means that you'll be more aware of your inner feelings than you are normally, and a little tentative, you're weighing things, you'll be pondering maybe a little bit as you choose, as you investigate, as you get to the bottom of something. Also, you'll want to be treading more carefully with certain people. There may be something that you value, that you know you rely on their input, their contribution for, whether you like it or not. That can be somebody you know, that can be an outside agency. Venus and Mercury are in a really positive, outgoing place for you this month, and that's really good news, because it'll actually take a lot of that attention, which could have been very inward and introspective, and it pushes your attention outwards, which is more what you in your comfort zone there, Aries, and it's actually quite, those two are laying on quite an adventurous vibration for you. You'll want to push the boundaries, maybe you want to look beyond your usual mental horizons. This energy could manifest as ways to take you out of the daily grind, to refresh your spirit. So it's a good idea to plunge into something or somewhere that you can learn things that you didn't know before, and this might just come to you and land on your lap, or you're in the place to choose. It can go either way. So it's a good time for you to suspend disbelief and get into interesting new things. Take a break, plan a holiday, put yourself mentally in a place where you can let go of those inner stressors and those worries and zoom out, see the bigger picture, get the overview. So places and faces at a distance are likely to be more appealing to you just now, and enjoyable contacts and friendships could revolve around travel or a foreign culture or an educational environment. In fact, there could be a love relationship or a new friendship connected to an educational environment, a place of learning, somebody foreign, teachers, and that sort of feeling. Mercury does go retrograde for 3 weeks from the 24th, meaning you may find certain communications and experiences confusing or inconclusive, or you're trying to get your head around something, you're learning it step by step, but you can't quite see where it's going and where all the pieces fit. But when Mercury goes direct, you should begin to understand, how it does all fit together, and then go forward from there. Your ruling planet Mars is in a very playful, creative area where it's been all through October, and it'll be still in the same area until the 11th. Thereafter, Mars rolls up his sleeves and wants to get busy, with something, practical daily tasks, the to-do list, work. It's very work and job orientated, putting more physical effort into those sorts of things, getting things organized with the job at hand, whatever that might be. You'll probably be more inclined to strive through the sweat of your brow, either out of choice or because you have to get things, more in the way you'd like them to be. Maintenance, repairs, sorting out a working space, sorting out some other kind of a space for yourself or somebody else maybe, and just be careful though, because this is also an area of health. Mars could activate health issues if you're clumsy and trip over your own shoelaces or bump your head. Be careful, just pace yourself during this phase when you could be tempted to overstretch your energy. Some of you could turn into a bit of a workaholic with Mars in this area here. I say that because it's going to be there for a long time. It's going to be there until next July. So you can really make huge changes and really be very productive over this time, to do with the job, to do with the employment market, to do with, you know, a project that you're on, daily tasks, maintenance, repairs, but also your health, your physical health. Some of you may be wanting to get to improve, you know, health, fitness, get into a different way of eating, you know, exercise and so on, just to help yourself feel better. Also, some of you may be providing services, a service rather, for somebody whose health you're looking up for, or you're just providing a service. Also, this is the area to do with skills. Fantastic for over these very many months to be learning a new skill, and applying that skill, and then that skill being maybe, you know, I was going to say lucrative, but at least a skill that you can exchange in rather for money, even though this might be we might be coming into a time when actually short-circuiting money as much as possible and going more in for exchange would be a good idea. Now, collaborations can be productive and energetic, but because it's Mars is a bit feisty. So, you know, you and someone can really do business together, but you have to be careful because you can rub each other up the wrong way. You know, there might be somebody around who you're either working with or doing work for, or doing, you know, teaming up with for some reason, and if you have a habit of coming on too strong, you Aries, then you might have to soften things down a little bit, or you know, if it's the opposite way around, just be more assertive, but try to do it in a way where you find this win-win solution. You're understanding their needs and requirements, and perhaps their level of understanding as well. From the 23rd, you're coming into a period where you can be exploring new possibilities. That will be for a few weeks. The new moon on November the 25th, that's the new moon and partial lunar eclipse on November the 25th, which is going to be followed up by a solar eclipse on December the 10th. Activating the same area, so this will be the first shot across the bows. This new moon and partial lunar eclipse on November the 25th is going to open the way for a growth spurt for you and a learning curve for you over subsequent months, or shall we say the subsequent month until it is followed up by the solar eclipse. So it's going to be time for you to be exploring and more of the same, as I've already said. Now, every month I mention the slower moving planets, outlying planets, Jupiter through Pluto, and just a quick recap, although you can go to my website and just read it on there. But just I said quick recap, as you might know by now. You know, I try to be quick, but I never am, so I do ramble on a little bit. But anyway, Jupiter's current position is a very good omen for you on those basic physical material levels of life. So if you want to, if you've got a little bit of ground, you know, you can dig, I mean, right down to that level there, plant trees, you know, bamboo, hemp, the hemp industry is really taking off again. You know, whatever it is for you, if it's, you know, to do with gardening, then that way, but however we can get ahead of the bigger wheels and be more self-sufficient at the moment, and as we go forward through 2012, 13 and beyond, the better we're going to do. So this Jupiter position you've got here until next June is going to open up all of that possibility for you. It's a beneficial influence in this area. It's got lots of potential. And you could be honing skills, especially with Mars, where it is, as I explained earlier, learning through doing on these basic, you know, kind of digging and hoeing levels, and it might not be anything to do with the Earth, although it is a very, very earthy area, and it's just about, you know, being sustainability, being self-sustaining, self-sufficient. So this is an energy that's really going to invite that in, and it's up to you, Aries, to see the potential, and it might be that you have to do a few exchanges, you know, before you get to the place, but you've got until next June. This is a cycle for reach for better things, materially, physically, on basic levels, through sometimes a lucky break. That can happen with Jupiter here. Maybe it puts something on your plate that you weren't expecting. You didn't think it was going to come in that way, but it's up to you to see the potential. I keep saying that. And yeah, you might have more on your plate than you bargained for. It's harder, or it's just going to take more time, and patience isn't your strong suit, Aries. But it'll be worth it if you gauge it, you judge it as having, you know, long-term potential. Also, your talents, your skills. This Jupiter position is fantastic for developing those and learning learning new things, and turning your talents and your sort of inborn leanings into talents, rather skills that can be applied for yourself and also for others. This is a great time for maximizing your earning power, but also, you know, you as an asset, and what you can provide, and what you've got around you that you can use as an asset. And natural resources might be more in your mind. You know, sustainable energy, equipment, venues, spaces, all of this is going to flow more readily towards you, because that's where the area of flow is coming from until next June. And with Uranus in your sign, it may be a good idea to open up to anything alternative, complementary, or eco-friendly, because that's what Uranus is about partly. Now, you've got the Saturn transit. That's you learning how to get on with other people better, but also finding out, you know, where you're coming from and what your needs and requirements are, and whether they are, you know, reasonable or unreasonable in relationship. Because actually, this Saturn challenge, wherever Saturn is, it's an area of challenge. It's the area that we've got to sweat the most and learn our hardest lessons, and this is for you until August 2012 in the area of close relationships, whether those are personal relationships or businessy, professional type relationships. So it's you learning a thing or two here about how to handle people, and better people skills. And in the process, there's going to be moments of conflict, frustration, as you feel held back by the decisions or the behavior or the opinions or the demands of others. And it might be that somebody's around that is feels holding you back or holding you down, but it's not their fault, you see. So there's all sorts of ways scenario can play out. It can even play out that you don't feel like you have, you know, you feel lonely. You feel lonely within a relationship. This is Saturn flagging up to you that there's a part of you that you're not with, that you haven't found, that you haven't given your attention. Those of you doing energy work or working, you know, one-to-one in a one-to-one scenario, listen to, you know, that higher knowing, wiser knowing, whenever you can. And this transit of Saturn is going to be affecting this month, you Arians born 11th to the 16th of April, around about there, either side of the 11th to the 16th of April, a little bit either side. Or with Aries rising about 21 to 26 degrees. You'll like feel this influence, this breaking, stopping influence of Saturn the most this month. Uranus is in your sign, as I mentioned earlier, the awakener energy, and you could be on the edge of your seat sometimes wondering what's going to happen next, because this is all about surprise and ambush and change is afoot. So things you didn't expect to happen will happen. If there's, sometimes it's disruptive, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's the best thing that could ever have happened, even though it didn't look like it at the time. So this is just nature. It's the winds ripping twigs and branches off trees, you know. and you Arians who are closest to the center of that hurricane, or well, wind, but if you're near it on the degree, it might feel more like a hurricane, and that'll be you Arians born 21st to 23rd, around about there, of March. And those of you with up to 2 degrees of Aries rising, you're going to feel this vibration most strongly this month. Neptune's reversed into a more sociable area, meaning that you may be mixing more with healers or people in the medical profession, or artists, or psychic groups, healing groups, or healers, and anybody working towards a common goal in a selfless matter, charities, that kind of thing. Social services, perhaps even something that you get for free, or that you may be throwing your energies in with others for some sort of ideology of some kind. It feels like a little bubble. It feels like a special little bubble that you're in, and it could be very healing and nurturing. Just to say, don't allow peer pressure to knock you off your own unique path. And you Arians born on the 17th, the 19th, or the last degree, couple of degrees, up to 2 degrees of Aries rising, will feel this energy mostly this month, although it's not a very strong energy for you at all. It'll just be bubbling away there in the background. The life-changing force of Pluto is having you reaching very deep now. You'll be challenged by life and reaching for just that little bit more, reaching deeper than you knew you could go, in a way. This is about evolution. It is extraordinary the way the universe evolves us, and you Arians who are very close on the degree to this will know what I'm talking about, and you will, if you come out the other side of it already, you will look back and know that you are very, very different to when you went into it. And it'll be you Arians born 24th to 29th, around about there of March, or with around about 3 to 8 degrees of Aries rising. You're going to feel this energy mostly this month. And that's it for November. If you know your rising sign, listen to that too. And also your moon sign, you might try listening to that as well. And you can find out what your moon sign is by going to astrodeals.com. And I will see you the next time.